All right, now we're going to go into an actual deal, and we're going to start with going through the financial documents. First off is the offering memorandum. The offering memorandum is the marketing packet from the broker about a deal that he is trying to sell. And so in this, we're going to go through everything that's contained in the offering memorandum, or the OM for short. And what's in here is property information, the financials, pictures of the property, market research, comparables, and we're going to go through all that here and see what, and let you know what's important in the offering memorandum. So first off, the title page here, Courtyards of Roses, is a 224 unit deal built in 1972 in Irving, Texas. We've got some just initial pages here, contents page, and then I love Marcus Millichap because recently they've been starting to, right off the bat, include value add opportunities right up front. This is great because this is usually the first thing I look at when I look at an OM is I look for value add opportunities and see if the broker has that information in the OM, because I want to know if I can add value to this property, if there's a way for me to increase the value of it. And so here, this one's great. They lay out what you can do. First off is substantial upside opportunity, enhancing interior unit upgrades. Premium level upgrade package could garner up to $100 monthly premiums. That's awesome. Then 50% expense reduction by using a water conservation program, which is awesome. The next one is an achievable potential revenue stream of leasing washer and dryer units. This one's pretty popular lately with properties that do have a washer and dryer connections or in-unit washer and dryers. Properties have started to charge a premium or leasing out the washer and dryers to those tenants. Another one here is an opportunity to install yards on the first floor units and then adding a $50 premium on top of those units because they have that yard. The last one here is implementing a reserved parking. You can do about 75 spaces there and charge, I believe, probably like a $20 fee for having a reserved parking spot. Then they have this next page that breaks out the numbers for you, which is super convenient because most of the time we have to figure out this information on our own through our own research. But Marcus and Millichap's great. They provide some of this. We do need to do our own verification of this information, but for a quick underwriting, this is great. This is perfect stuff. So they break it down. They do premium level unit upgrade program. They're going to do 168 of the 224 units. So that probably means that the other 60 units are already upgraded. So they already probably have a proven system that the owner has put into place already. It's going to cost you $5,000 to renovate them, total cost of $840,000, and then a premium of $87 on average for each unit. Then the water conservation program, it's going to cost you $506 a unit, and you're going to be able to get $48 out of that. That premium per unit, I think most likely that's implying a cut in expenses instead of actually adding $48 to the rent. It's implying that you are saving $48. The reserved parking, it's going to cost you $20 to implement per unit or per space, parking space, and then $25 premium you can charge for that. Lease washer and dryer set to residents. You can do about 45 units. It's going to cost you $1,200 a unit. Then you can charge $40 a month for leasing those washer and dryers. And the last one is the backyards as well. 45 of those units you can do on the first floor. It's going to cost you $1,250 to add that little backyard, and then you can charge an extra $50 on their rent. Then they outline the recent capital improvements, which is really important to know what the current owner has already improved. But it's also important to know when you're doing due diligence or diving in deeper to know when did they do these improvements. Or was it within the last couple of years? Was it 5-10 years ago? This is important to know as well. Then they start showing some pictures so you can kind of see the condition of the property. It looks pretty nice, which is good. You can kind of see the yards that they've already started to implement. Then we got the inside of the units. They look like they're in pretty good shape. And this is good to see these pictures just so you can understand what you can actually do in these units. If there is opportunity to renovate them and put in higher quality appliances or counters and cabinets, repainting it, putting in different flooring. This is all good stuff. That's why the pictures, I believe, are important. Then they also break it out here, and you don't find this in a lot of OMs, but with the Marcus Millichap, they're including this, is they're breaking down the type of the upgrades, the unit upgrades that need to be done or that they've already done. So it says most units are currently equipped with black kitchen appliances, Foxwood flooring, a two-tone beige paint palette, brushed nickel kitchen and bathroom fixtures, resurfaced counters, modern lighting, contemporary ceiling fans, Then it goes into detail what you can do to, what things you could put in: 2 centimeter granite countertops, kitchen cabinet fronts, under mount kitchen sink with gooseneck faucet. They go into details of breaking it all down to show you, why it's going to cost $5,000 per unit and why you can charge up to $100 monthly premium for these features. Then they break down the water conservation program, how that kind of all pans out and what you can actually save. Here it says $125,000 annually you can save. This is great information. Placing washer and dryer units, installing yards on first floor, and then they go into the reserved parking and the available financing. Now, most OMs will have a page similar to this, where it's just an overview of the property information, going from address, number of units, the number of the net rentable square footage, number of buildings, number of floors, going into mechanical stuff like HVAC. It's in individual units. Electricity is individually metered, which is great to know. Water and sewer is master metered, which lets us know that there is potential for a utility bill back on water and sewer. Then we have some tax information, showing how many parking spaces there are, utilities, and who pays those. So it looks like they already started a RUB system for water and sewer and gas. And then they pay a trash fee of $25. Laundry situation, their employees they have on site, the fees they charge, and the school district. Then they have a page that goes into the amenities, the property amenities, and then the unit amenities. It's great information when you're doing market research to see what this property, what kind of amenities it's providing on the property and in the unit, and then researching similar properties and seeing what kind of amenities they're providing as well, and see if there's anything you can add value there. Got some more pictures: clubhouse, laundry room. All looks pretty good, pretty updated. Then they go into a site map. They kind of show where that property is located, kind of a Google Maps bird's eye view of it. You can see Courtyards of Roses. They have a little shopping center, and then they show a freeway over there, so it's pretty close to that freeway. It's just good. Here's another view. Shows that medical center. Just kind of give you an overview. Then they lay out what the unit types are, the floor plans, square footage, and they even show you how many units of each floor plan they have, which is a lot of information. A lot of times they don't break it out as nicely as this one, but this is good to know and to see how many units you have each type when you're diving in deeper into the underwriting and going into due diligence. Then they show you what yards you can do, where you can add the units where you can add the expanded yards on. It breaks out where you can do that on the property, which is pretty neat to show you that. Then they start breaking up into the market research. They do more of a small market research, more of kind of a closer neighborhood, and then they will break out into a kind of a larger market research. And after that, they usually start including comparables. So rent comparables they have right here. And this is really important to look through in the OM, is understand if these are actually accurate comparables, knowing where these comparables are located. Are they located really close to the property, or are they located in a completely different neighborhood? And so it's really important to understand that. You kind of have to do your own due diligence on that, is understanding if this is accurate comparables. So here we can see that the properties are pretty close. So this is good. These comparables could be pretty accurate, which helps us in our market research. Then usually an OM will have a breakdown of the comparables, the rent breakdown by unit type. Then they have a unit mix page, and they show what rent is and maybe what the premiums are or market rent is and what you can do there. Then the brokers will always include their own numbers, which is the current and pro forma page. Most OMs, I think all of OMs have something similar to this, where the broker goes in and they take numbers and they put it into their kind of underwriting. And this is where I get kind of weary and I don't trust the numbers, because we can see right here, they took the T3 numbers and then they took the T12 numbers for expenses. T3 for income, because probably the last 3 months look really strong, and then the T12 for expenses. This makes the numbers off. They're not super accurate. So that's why I say the T12 is super important when underwriting a deal, because that is the most accurate information you can go off of. And then they have their pro forma, so they say what they think the property would be running at year one and so forth. So just be wary of these numbers. You can look at them, compare them to yours, but always stick with the T12 in those numbers because they're the most accurate. Here they kind of have some notes about their underwriting, why they chose certain expenses, and why those numbers are what they are. Kind of some explanation behind it. They even break it up into a 5-year model and show how the property could be performing. Again, don't trust these numbers. Go and use underwriting template and use a T12 and figure out what the numbers are for us. And that's about it. That's what the OM contains. So great information to look through and to get to know the property a little bit better. And like I said, I love Marcus and Millichat because they provide these value add slides in here and information and breakdown. So it's a lot easier when I go to do underwriting. Also, a lot less information I have to go back and forth with a broker on and do digging in. So if they don't provide this information, that's stuff you need to, like the PDF, what is needed to underwrite a deal that we just went over, is you need to know the value add opportunities. And if they don't provide it for you in the OM, then that's something you need to ask the broker and dig in and figure out what you can do. But that's the OM, and now we're going to dive into a T12 next.